Whole thing started a week ago, actually a week and a day ago. We arrived late on Sunday, had a little get-together meeting at the Rendezvous restaurant, and from there it turned into total madness. No way to record anything, or if we had, I don't think we'd have ended up exactly where we are. We're going out to the Playa France location, have a look at the equipment before we tear it down, and then we'll do an antenna tour. Well, here we are, Monday morning, looking now at the 160 meter position, which also became the multiplier position. Back from that multiplier position, got the 40 meter position, W7ZR, W7 Echo Juliet, ran a couple of TS830s and MLA in the center, all nicely set up. And next to that, little rat nest of coax, baby alpha, and Bob just stepped out of the picture. That's the 20 meter position. The TS830 on the left, FT901DM on the right. All the rat's nest on the wall again is power distribution. You can see it's 10 minutes before noon, so we got a late start today. Across the room with the air conditioner in the background, we've got the 10 meter position. A couple more TS830s, a couple of MLAs, and moving from 10 down to the 80 meter position, which shared the center TS830. So we had two rigs going on 80 in the middle of the night, and we could use two on 10 in the daytime. 15 meters again from another position, water tank in the background. All this will be coming down today, and across from the 15 meter and working back towards where 160 is, a little bit of multiplier hunting action. Big news is really outside. Here comes Bob. You can see Jim with his belt on, getting ready to move out from that screen deck. Dick forming the third one. And the building is the GeoWatt Research Center. Jeep just arrived. There's Ed Moody heading across. K2SS looking up at one of the antennas. Whole crowd's coming now to start taking the operation down. Part of the heart of the operation was this big diesel tank feeding the guy we call Onan the Magnificent. Onan's a 15 kilowatt generator that's helped the station go for the last 3 years now. The operation today is going to consist of taking down some wires, straightening up cables, getting ready for the CW operation. Here comes Chet, Pj1B1988Cqwwssb and Walt, WA3LRO, two guys who have done the most to keep this operation organized and in gear. And up above it you see a Yagi multi-element pointed in towards the town of Crawlendeck. It's an operation I set up with W7ZR and Pj1B1988, giving us a telephone link into the main city and from there to the world. Some people are starting to take some snapshots before we pull this apart. There's N3 Echo Delta, Ed, by the sand pile, and he's looking up at this tower, which is the AB105. Make out a rotating 20 meter about halfway up. If you keep going up, about 130 feet above salt water, it's a 5 element on 15. Another angle on that same 5 element on 15. The 204BA beneath it. Got about 300 degrees rotation out of that unit. Did an excellent job. The bottom of the tower, see wires strung all over the place. Angle, I don't know if you can make out the way the brush has been cut back. This brush is all thistles, thorns, nasty bushes. Another angle on it. And if you can imagine in 100-degree temperatures, stalwart Gary, WA6VEF, in there hacking away with a machete to clear room for this beverage receiving antenna. That beverage we were looking at comes all the way back to the road. terminated in a little 450 ohm auto transformer matching it to the 75 ohm feed line. It also carries 12 volts to switch directions. You're looking back down the cut, the edge of the trees, you see the start of the high tower for 20 meters. That same high 20, and you can see a Roan 45 in the background we'll get to in a bit. Got a 204, must be sitting 130 feet off the salt water. Did an excellent job, cracked through the pileups, never had to wait in line. On that 20-meter tower, we had a large switching mechanism that controlled 80-meter wires you won't be able to see. And in the background, you can probably start to pick up the 40-meter and the 10-meter array on a top of 86 feet of Roan 45. Slightly different angle on that same thing. The 10-meter way up, though, it's 100 feet above salt water. Actually, the 40 is over 100 feet above salt water, and coming down you see more 10-meter antennas, and more 10-meter antennas, and more 10-meter antennas. And there's the water tower, Chet and Walt walking back. Of course, we weren't only fixed on 10. Here's a couple more 15 4-element Cushcrafts, mounted again well above the salt water, one on Europe, one on the States. And they were at the end of another very long beverage, which was the European beverage. You can see part of it there. The magical vertical on 80. The vertical on 80, I guess, performed because it had 59 radials on it. Rope tie point, and like any good 80-meter vertical, not quite vertical at the top. Probably no surprise that it takes an amazing amount of wire to feed an operation like this. Hard line all the way from smaller than your little finger to big around as a fire hose. Probably see all the multicolored stranded there, and the 4 barrels right next to it are full of distilled water. Keep the operators cool while the operation is going on. The rest of the water comes down from that water tower that did such a good job of supporting the low 10-meter and the telephone antenna. And before I shut this thing off and get to work, I just wanted to give one last panorama of the site. Don't know how the antennas are going to show up because we're looking somewhat into the sun now. There's the multi 10 meters with the 40 on top, 10 up above that, the center 20, and looking over there, the high 20 again. You can see between those two towers an 80-meter flat top. At least I can see it. I don't know if the TV is going to pick it up. Well, in the short time I've been outside, the thing is starting to come apart indoors. There's Jack taking care of the patch cables on the back of the 10-meter position.
Did Stuart ever come back?
The decision maker from KB2XZ, should I?
Just ask again. Ask again next year.
Okay, I guess we come next year and try again. Dick pulling radios apart. Matter of fact, the whole crew. There's Dave back there. He's going to be there for CW, waving his hand. Backside of Bob, and as you can see, 40 meters is already pulled apart.
Goes in here.
It's amazing. Gary's tearing wires up from the floor. We had those cables, the bundles you saw from outside, multicolored and hard line, stretched and neatly tied, and I don't think anybody tripped. A lot less wires now than there was even 15 minutes ago.
No, it's not marked. Let me mark. Something on the fan, I don't know what it said.
Pulling the whole operation apart. Down to the amplifiers, which worked very, very nicely this time.
Anybody see a marking pen anywhere?
And we'll give the whole credit to Onan and a couple of 100 amp service that I wired into the wall at the last minute. Well, you can't see the service because someone got in front of it. It looks like XZ. There you go. Now we can't see a damn thing.
51 and counting.
51 and counting. Well, the crew's hard at work. I think we'll shut this off, pick it up again at the Pink Beach where we recover, at least recover a little bit of our energy and talk about what happened. Well, after taking the station down, or as much as we could, we're headed for the Pink Beach. Tell me about it, Dick.
Soft pistachio, fresh.
Hey, Bill, how's the beer?
Oh, it's lovely.
Can you show us the ice on the container?
No, I can't. I'm eating it. I'm cooling my crotch with it. Stu, you were very good this time about the.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just a minute. This is clean family video. I've got to show it to my kids.
So we can't talk about your. No, we can't. Talk.
No. This is the stop on the way to the Pink Beach. Nest shot, Pink Beach. Well, I promised you the Pink Beach. Left the site. Had that nice stop at the ice cream parlor. Here's the first one hitting the water. ZR moved into the water.
Oh yeah. I've gone to heaven.
Dave heading for it and Gary enjoying it. Hurricane Joan was here just 2 weeks ago. Brought an awful lot of rock up here since we were on the beach about 2 months ago. We were here in August. I don't know if you can see what's happened to the sand. I'll pan in close, but it's thrown off all kinds of coral activity. Thousands of little rocks here now. The water's as great as it ever was, but Pink Beach is... Well, Chet said the waves were 15, 20 feet high. Dumped a lot of water on the island, a lot of water on Curacao, and it's taken Pink Beach out completely. The sand isn't pink anymore. It's just covered with white coral. But as you can see, the water is as spectacular as ever. Enough of this video, I'm on my way out there.
This is water, Gary. This is what you're supposed to get when you come to the Caribbean.
You're rolling.
Rolling.
As you can see, preparing for a dramatic sunset.
We are rolling.
Dick's getting well laid up. Got a couple of the CQ contest committee members there. K2SS on the backside of W7 Echo Japan. On the deck, there's Gary, WA6VEF, and Dick's turning his back to the camera. What's happening is the return from the Pink Beach, a couple of cold Amstels, and getting ready for sunset. Little sweep across the vertical. And Dick's camera is running, waiting for the green flash.
Well, 1998 was a true battle of giants. My good friend Carl, AI6V, put together a crack team with a lot of pals on Aruba, ended up with 49 million. And our team on Bonaire, about 46 million. Both teams, of course, well ahead of number 3 place and on down. Next year, we're coming back and we're going to beat 50 million.